Yeah. Yeah. Guess who came back with a large fucking fist to eat the Brooklyn blast furnace? I brought your ugly bitch with me. Your shit is sus. Ain't nobody trying to hear you talk. When Jimmy's on the mic, they take your whack shit and turn it off. It's real life, not them stories that you punks say. He made it out alive, and he's relatively unscathed. So subscribe to the podcast and share the post and tell your stupid friends to do the same. You heard it here from Coast.
And we're up. The long-awaited and the long-anticipated return of my friend here, Lou from Sick of It All. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, man. Always good to see you.
I had to come back because after I did mine, I think Craig did one, and he would get. You used to post how, which one was more popular. He would get so incensed that he didn't have more views than me, that he went on your show 3, 4 more times.
Yeah, he likes to talk about himself.
Oh, what a surprise.
He loves to talk about himself, and I'm supposed to have him on again. So this, like this one, and it could be maybe 2 or 3 down the line, and it's so I'll be able to watch the stats. I'll let you know what's going on.
I don't care. I just loved it that he was so upset that he wasn't as many views as mine, that he had to call you up. But let me go on again.
Yeah, he did. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, he likes to talk about himself, that guy. But I love talking to Craig. He's so funny.
He's funny.
He
should have wrote years ago when he first joined the band in '93. He would entertain us on those dismal first tours of Europe. We were in a little van driving through the winter through the mountains, and he would entertain us with his agnostic front stories. And we would all say, "You got to write a book." This is before anybody wrote a book.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, they'll all sue me."
It's probably true, man.
He should have wrote it. He would have been the first.
Yeah. Bro, listen, obviously you and you. Hey, look how convenient. You guys have a book, and Craig has a book in him. But there's so many people. Yeah. And how awesome is it? I mean, everybody knows at this point, because it dropped, that the most interesting man alive.
I was just going to say, it's going to have a lot of the stories Craig could have told in that book.
Dude, I can't wait. I was with Vinny like last week when Danny from Northside Kings was in. Yeah. And he would do like a little book signing, a little quick little in and out in Generation Records. And Mike Gallo came and Vinny came and we all went out to eat and stuff like that. It's like Vinny doesn't even really have to really say anything, and I'm laughing. It's just always just. It's Vinny, it's what a perfect name for the book, and I'm dying to read it.
Oh, it's gonna be great, yeah.
It's gonna be great. Like, I don't know, man. Like he's one of my top 5 human beings on the planet.
Yeah. I told we were hoping Howie was gonna do a part 2 of but from Craig and Armine's perspective, and then we would tell our sides of it.
That would be awesome. Howie, get on it, because. No, that would be great, man.
Pete had a good idea. He said Craig should do a book, and on one page is Craig's story, and then on the other page is like accounts from Armine, me, and Pete about what really happened.
There you go. But then half the book would be talking about pizza.
Yeah. Or what was on his mind at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
He once spent a full European tour, like a month-long tour, asking everybody and anybody, no matter what they were doing at the show or on the street, what do you know about metal shelving? Because he was putting shelves up in his basement, and he just asked random people about shelves, and we were like,
metal shelving.
Yeah, for hours. What a way to kick off the interview. Let's talk about
that. But I could. He's gonna love it because he's like, "Oh, you guys couldn't help but talk about me right at the beginning."
Exactly.
But that's fine. I can hear him saying that random, weird, silly shit. Well,
yeah,
fucking fun.
Oh boy.
Well, actually, today we're on podcast time. This will drop in a few days, but today is April 17th, And tomorrow is I couldn't believe it because obviously I don't remember the dates that you guys drop records. But every once in a while, like when I first asked you, you want to come back on, blah blah. So I'll look at shit like that, and I like to post, like I posted like the Call to Arms anniversary and stuff like that. So I'll look at that kind of stuff because I'm like a nerd like that. But I was like, I can't believe that tomorrow, April 18th, is 18 years already of Death to Tyrants.
Wow. Yeah, 2006 it was, right?
Yeah. But it's crazy because like that was the 20th anniversary. That was that record.
Yeah.
At BB King's, the 20th anniversary show with Kill Your Idols and stuff like that. That was
that was Hearts and I forget who else.
The Autumn Offering.
Yeah.
The Autumn
that was Armand's choice.
and the Warriors.
Oh yeah, the Warriors. They were like poised to be the next big thing from alternative press when magazines.
Oh yeah,
and they were good guys and had okay. To me, they were like it's like a kind of Snapcase meets Rage Against the Machine, but
honestly, I don't remember them. I don't.
Not many people do.
No, I don't. I remember that show though. I definitely remember that show, but that show does not seem like 18 years ago, and it's fucking scary, dude.
BB King's isn't there anymore,
That was sad too. It was like I was walking around during COVID lockdowns because I work like a few blocks from Times Square, work on 40 Vanderbilt, and I happened to be walking. It was eerie as shit, man. It's like, why is it like 6 o'clock on a Tuesday when there's supposed to be 1 million people? There's like 5 people within sight. So I'm walking around and I walked past and I'm just like, I looked and I didn't even realize where I was. And I looked up and it was like BB King's had closed. I'm like, and the only time I was ever at that club was at your show. The only time I was ever there. So every time I see BB King's, I think of that show. I mean, there's no other reference in my head. So I'm just like, holy shit. Like, that's kind of sad. Like another
it was funny. We came to set up for the show and the promoter was like, the gospel brunch was just finishing, so they were clearing out the gospel, and he was like, "My manager is here, but he usually leaves right after the gospel brunch. And he leaves, I'm gonna have him strike the barricade because they wanted a barricade. They were like, oh, stage diving is crazy.
Oh
and
yeah.
Luckily, the guy left. He did. He left after the gospel brunch, and he was like, no barricade. We had a great."
Oh, that was a very hectic show. I got beat up at that show. Like I did. I remember I got beat up at that show. But it was crazy and so much fucking fun. But
that was
approaching 20 years, crazy.
Death to Tyrants was we were just finishing up our contract with Fat. It wasn't really a contract. Anytime we wanted to put it, like when Mike asked us to be on Fat, he offered us the best deal because he goes, look, I'm a guy in a touring band. He goes, I know what it's like to tour and try to sell records. And so he would give us, and it would be verbally, hey, you guys want to make another record? Like after Cold Arms, you want to make another record? Yeah. Okay. Bang. And that you were done.
That's awesome though. How cool is that though?
Like the actual business end would come after, like with our manager and his people, and they would iron out the money and all that crap.
Yeah.
And he was cool as shit. We loved being on Fat, but you have to understand it from Just Look Around. We built a huge following in Europe. Like the underground was primed.
Yeah.
Scratch the Surface came out on a major in Europe and boom, we were huge. Yeah. And then Built to Last did great. But when we were kind of, we didn't really fit with the major label. It just they kept changing people over and over and over. So when we left and we were looking at labels, Mike gave us the best deal. He was the coolest guy, and we had a good time. But the European office of Fat was not cool. They weren't mean. They were really nice. It was 2 women. They were great. They loved us as people, but there was no support there. We did the turning point for me was we did. It's like our 4th or 5th time playing the full force festival. And
where's that? That's in
Germany.
Yeah, it's in Germany.
Yeah, I think it's in
Leipzig, something like that. Yeah.
So it was Slayer headlining, Ministry, Sick of It All, and Anthrax all on the same day. There was a bunch of bands before Anthrax. We went on after Anthrax. It was just like everything fell together. We had a killer young soundman that nobody knew, and he made us sound huge. We had one of the best sets of our lives. We're walking off stage. Tom Araya is standing here. Behind him is all of Ministry, and he says really loud, "How the fuck is Ministry gonna follow you?" And it was like, so we're like people great. Not one person from the press came to talk to us. No representatives, all that stuff. It was just we went up and did our shit and walked off.
Really?
So I go into the office, and our booking agent Mark goes, "Come on." We called up the Fat Records office, and he puts me on the phone. He said to speaking to them in German, like, "Where the fuck are these people? They Sick of It All just stole the show." Blah blah blah. And then puts me on the phone with the girl from Fat. She's like, "I know you would do good, but I don't like the heavy stuff." And I'm like, I look at the phone, I just hang up. I'm like,
oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
And Mike has always apologized to us for that.
Really?
He's always said, and years later, we're on Century Media and it does good and all that, but they don't have a good presence in the US for hardcore. Right. So Mike steps in and says, "Hey, you want to do your vinyl on Fat here so I can help, promote the band and blah, blah, blah." And that's how it's been. So now we're on Century and Fat. But going to Century Media after being on Fat, it was like a rebirth to us. We had to prove ourselves again, and that's when we wrote the whole Death to Tyrants album.
Wait, yeah, I don't understand. I don't know what the transition was. I don't know. Maybe you had that in mind, but you guys seem very fucking extra angry and heavy on that record. Which is awesome because Craig always likes to talk about Call to Arms because it's very stripped down, it's fast.
Because he likes garbage. I'm not putting these bands down. But his point of reference for New York hardcore is Malignant Tumor. Okay, band, but totally generic.
Yeah.
Not the Abused, not Antidote, not Reagan Youth. No, right. Malignant Tumor.
What is it?
So I know he loves that.
His point of reference.
So like the thing with Fat, it was great, but it was also we wrote some great records on Fat. There are songs that are really heavy. There's killer songs. There's great hardcore on our Fat records. Yeah. But we got into this not a groove, but like kind of like a rut where it was like write an album, tour for 2 years, go home, write an album, tour for 2 years, go home. And that's why there would be like 4 great songs on this record and then a bunch of okay ones. And then the next album, 4 great songs and then a bunch of okay ones. Right. So when we got off of that, and Century Media, we sat down and talked to them. And the best advice we got from some, I think it was some major label guy, because they came and looked at us too when we were leaving Fat. And he goes, find yourself a label where the owner or the president loves your band. And that's been Century Media since day one. Back when we left Relativity, Century Media was the first ones that would talk to us about going with them.
Right. Yeah.
So we did. We went back to Century. We went to Century Media then, and everybody was firing on all cylinders, especially Pete and Armine writing the music and stuff. And This is the Sick of It All album. I only wrote 1 set of lyrics on this album, on Death to Tyrants. Yeah.
What'd you write on there?
I only wrote, God, I got to look it up. I don't remember the title.
How do you not know?
Armine wrote all the lyrics. It was like we were rehearsing, and at that time I just started living in Jersey, I believe. So we'd rehearse in Queens, and I would drop Armine off at like Grand Central. Then I would go drive home to Jersey, and I'd take out my tape and start writing. And all of a sudden I'd get a call. It'd be like, yeah, I wrote all the lyrics to that song on the train on the way home. So he was writing on the train on the way home.
Yeah.
So he wrote, I think, every song except 1.
Really?
Yeah.
To do that. I didn't realize that.
I'll look it up and find out which one it was.
I have to Google my own shit.
Yeah. Well, see. I'll let you know.
Let me know if you remember. If Life on the Ropes was on Fat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last one on Fat.
Yeah. I feel that is a very, you guys don't even do anything off of that anymore live.
No.
I
don't know why.
I don't know why either, because for some weird reason, it could just be me or my perspective. It could be different. I'm speaking for myself. I feel like that's a very unspoken about, underrated record for some reason. Like, why do I feel like that record kind of fell through the cracks a little bit? Maybe not at the time, but like now.
Yeah, it doesn't get a lot of, it's not talked about a lot. I think we don't like to talk about it because it was weird. We did
I love that
production.
The deep cuts on that record, even the deep cuts. I'm like, yo, I tell Craig, like, yo, why don't you like put like your 2 cents in and like try to get like butting heads in the fucking set list. He's like,
oh, that's a good. I like butting heads. It's very aggro, you know.
I know, I love
it. That was a record that we recorded analog, and when we listened back to the analog, we're like, "This is awesome! It's oh man, listen to how dirty it sounds, but it's clear." And then it went to digital, and it just seemed to lose its magic, and we were just like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah, I think the last time that I remember seeing you guys live, I mean, you probably have done some after that, but it was like the mid 2000s. I'm going to say it had to be like 2006 or 7. You guys played CB's one night. Mm-hmm. It was with like Most Precious Blood. And it was I don't know, it was an odd show. And I had the most brutal sunburn. I had such a bad summer, and I was fucking miserable because I could hardly move, dude. It was bad. And I'm like, how am I going to see Sick of It All at CB's and not be able to like to fucking move around, to do nothing? It was bad. But that was the last time I think that I remember you guys doing anything off of Life, at least that I watched from Life. Yeah, you guys did Relentless and Paper Tiger.
No, I love Relentless.
Relentless. Fucking great.
We do Relentless again. I love Paper Tiger, but it's one of those songs where we're like trying to write the set. Okay, let's have Paper Tiger, but then it's like, yeah, but we could put this one in, then we move this, and we got to lose one. They lose Paper Tiger.
Yeah.
I think Paper Tiger is great because it like breaks up the the set.
Yeah.
You know, that's also like a song like Get Bronx.
Yeah.
A friend of mine said to me the other day, she goes, why don't you open with Get Bronx? I go, why would we do that? She's because it's a fun song, but it's hard. And I was like, oh, she's right, you know?
Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, you guys you guys have like your it's like one of 5 songs that you pretty much mostly, at least in the States, I never seen you guys overseas or whatever, that you go open with. It's like Injustice System, Clobberin' Time, Looking Out, My Life. I've seen you guys a couple, 2-3 times.
We have like let's see, we try to open with, we have Good Looking Out, we either open with Good Looking Out or Take the Night Off, or we open with Injustice System. Those have been the last consistent ones.
But
this year also it's the 30th year of Scratch the Surface. So
that was what I was going to touch on next.
The set coming up is a lot of Scratch the Surface in it and stuff for that.
You guys do Insurrection?
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh, fuck, dude, that song.
The only
I go to the gym and I listen to that record. I feel like it's fucking insane. So
yeah, but you know what? It's really, I love it, and I love that dance part. But you know, the younger crowd would just be like, "That's not a hard dance part." Like, you know, whatever. It's a dance.
Now you don't know what you're talking about, youngin. You have no idea. That fucking album just chug the E.
It just doesn't go chug chug, and then like 2 seconds later you hear a snare hit and chug chug, and that's like makes people go crazy now.
Yeah, that's like the beat down band. Once you hear the one little ding, then it's like everyone get ready.
But yeah, you know, Insurrections in it. There's only one place, the festival in Germany, that asked us, and they asked us specifically just to come and do Scratch the Surface. So we made a deal with them that, okay, you'll be the only place where we'll play the entire album.
Holy shit.
I think the set right now that we have has 6 or 8 or 10 songs, I think, from Scratch the Surface.
I guarantee. I don't know if you remember, but I used to kind of break your chops on purpose a little bit about this. I recently posted it, and I tagged you in it on purpose to be an idiot. One of my favorite songs on that record, I've never seen you guys. Return to Reality, dude. I fucking love that song. That song gets me. I don't know what happens to me, but that song is crazy. Your voice, you sound like you're possessed, and that fucking guitar riff is ridiculous. It's true, bro. There's something up with that song. I don't know what it is, but it hits me a certain way. I'm like, this shit should be on. It should be a staple to me.
You know what's funny is that's a song that I'm like, it's one of those things that we reached for, and everybody in the band thinks we didn't hit it. We had the right idea, but it was either my vocals or something didn't improve. But I was listening to a podcast called The Dead Ramones, and it's this Australian comic, and he has other comics that grew up listening to punk or alternative music, and they come on, and he says he makes them listen to his favorite records, and they give their opinion on it. Yeah. So the one he did Scratch the Surface, and one of the guys that he said he was the guy, his guest was like some Australian comic he grew up more in the emo scene, and he was like, I never realized how widespread Sick of It All's influences goes, because I hear Thursday in this song, and I hear System of a Down in that song, and he goes, if this was a new band, I'd say, oh, they're just copying those bands. But these were the guys who did it before that.
Yeah.
And it's funny that they say that, because System of a Down says that we were one of their influences, not in the press, but to our faces. Like,
right.
Craig got a phone call from a guy at some party in LA, and the drummer from System of a Down got on and was like, we used to see Sick of It all the time, blah, blah, blah. We took Thursday out on shows before they were anybody. Right before that album, that song hit on MTV, and they were cool as shit. Great guys, and we still friends with them,
Yeah. Fucking crazy, man.
But yeah, Return to Reality is one of those songs that I think if we redo it, not change anything, but I think we know more of ourselves and I think it'll come out better. Even Armand was like, I think if we sat down and practice it, we could really get it great, So maybe you'll hear it.
Maybe I will.
Because I think there's going to be an anniversary show for New York City in the fall or winter coming up. Because the album was released in November. So maybe in November we'll be playing New York City. For Scratch the Surface.
Dude.
Kind of anniversary.
Full record. Will you do it front to back?
See, that's weird because
here we go.
It's set up good. I like the way the songs are set up. It's not like it was like, it's a major label album. Put all the good songs in front and put the filler at the end. We like to make an album that you can listen to all the way through.
Sure.
So that one's good. But then sometimes it doesn't work. And no offense to my friends in Vision, but I went to see him do the anniversary of a blink of an eye, and the tail end of the album is kind of weak. So it was like all the good shit was up front, and then you were like,
all right, yeah, I get it. But yeah, but Surface, it's one of those. It's a classic, and you know that. Thanks. Stop being all modest. You know it. You know that. You've heard it a million times. If you ask like 10 people, what's the greatest Sick of It All record? I'm gonna guess that 7 or 8 of them are gonna say Scratch the Surface.
Yeah, it depends on their age, though. You could ask somebody who's like younger, and they'll be like, whatever, a later record.
Yeah. Yours truly or something.
Or even later, like
true, based on a true story, which is going to turn 14 this coming Saturday, which is crazy too.
Yeah.
What's happening, bro? Like,
I love that. See, that's a record. Craig praises Call to Arms production and all that. I don't like it personally because we had a limited time to do vocals. I was waiting around all week, 2 weeks, whatever, while they tracked the track, caught a vicious, horrible cold. I had to go in and sing with the worst cold of my life,
Really?
And I hear it on songs. I'm like, why did I leave that? So, and then why? Because we didn't have money to keep going.
Right.
But I love the production based on a true story.
Yeah.
It's like almost like almost gonna go to distortion. It's almost gonna blow out your speaker. I love that.
Yeah,
but the other,
fucking
I
incredible.
think he got more of a balance on Last Act of Defiance. Was more of a balance of that and Death to Tyrants.
Right. Okay.
That was more of a balance. But I love Based on True Stories fucking production.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It is. It's insane. And there was a question that I wanted to ask you. Where did you guys film the Death of Jail video? Where was that?
Oh, that was up in, I think it was in Massachusetts somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Because we used Ian McFarlane, who did the Godfathers of Hardcore documentary.
I had him on here a while back, right before he put out the Godfathers of Hardcore. I did it with him in a tiny hotel room in like the Pennsylvania hotel. Me and him were sitting on a bed together, looking at each other while we were talking about shit.
It was intimate.
It was very intimate.
It was very yeah, but that was great. But it was kind of, they were like, he was like we were making a movie. He's like, yeah, no, Lou, he's got to really push your head there, or else it's not going to sell. I'm like, like when I'm up against Wall, he's shoving my face.
Yeah.
I had a bruise on my face for a week.
Yeah, dude, you're getting all fucked up. Your brother's spitting on the way, like it's.
He rented a police car.
That's awesome. See, the reason why I asked you this is because I don't know. You might see the shit that I post. Like I do that whole film location shit.
Yeah.
Where I superimpose like the before and after picture. That's Danny Boy from House of Pain's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He so it's the Delta Bravo Danny Boy DB. The Delta Bravo Urban Exploration Team. And that's what we do. So I was watching, like, I don't know, maybe about a week ago or so, I watched the Death of Jail video again. I was like, I wonder where that was filmed, because I would go there and take pictures at the right angles and then I would do that. I'll take a weekend and drive to Massachusetts like an idiot.
I don't remember where it was exactly, but yeah, that was up in Massachusetts. So it was either Rhode Island or Massachusetts. We did the Take the Night Off video with Ian also.
Okay.
Maybe we did that in like a warehouse up in either Rhode Island or the two girls fighting. One was like the female kickboxing champion of America at the time,
Really?
And the other one was her sparring partner. So they were really, we were like, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe I'll hit up Ian and see if he remembers. He has to remember. You look at his backlog and shit. See, I'll do that. I'll take like a weekend trip and go there just to take pictures. I'll do that shit all the time.
See, that's the problem is this year is also, it's the 35th anniversary of Blood, Sweat, No Tears. And I brought that up and the guy was like, look, we got to choose. Are we doing scratch? Are we doing Blood and Sweat?
Both.
That's what I said.
Half and half.
I think the New York show should be done. We just mix those two albums together and bang it out.
And that's it.
But there's songs on Blood and Sweat. I would be like, I don't want to fucking.
Why? I know. Let me
goofy. They sound goofy to me.
No, they don't. You're being silly.
Here you go. Again, here you go. Once more. My point that Craig likes crappy things.
Listen.
He loves the song Stick Together, which was a last-minute song. And I was like, I'm just going to write like some generic, youth crew unity lyrics. And he loves that song. And he always will be at sound check.
It's fucked up.
At sound check.
I love that song
get
too.
Ready to... See? We'll be at sound check.
I guess I
start playing it. And I'm like, no. And the whole band will kick in. And I'm like, I'm not singing it. I'm not going to sing it.
I love that song. Dude, that whole album front to back's fucking amazing. I know you cringe it because the way you sound because you're younger and whatever. I know you hate your voice in it. But let me tell you something. No matter where you guys supposedly play for this anniversary, I think that if you opened up with the Blood of the Sweat, people will die.
I think we played Blood of the Sweat at was it Bowery Electric? Did we do it there?
I was at the Bowery Electric show. You did not play it.
I know we played it.
I think you played it in Queens.
Oh yeah, it was probably.
I wasn't at the Queens when I was at Bowery Electric. You didn't play it. I was hoping you would.
That's the AL.
I wasn't going to start shouting out requests. Yes, I have the shirt. I have the shirt.
That was a great fun tour. Those guys are fun. It's always fun,
dude.
That's a band that, like, when we did those tours with them, I sit there and I don't know if it was Roger or it was Craig Silverman, and I said the same thing to both of them. I was like, what AF needs in the States is you see those tours where it's like Testament and Exodus. They should throw AF on that bill, but they won't because those bands are good. I'm not putting them down.
Right.
But their fans go to hear them play. They're not sitting there, wow, look at how great Chuck Billy is standing still. No,
right.
AF is a fucking machine.
Machine.
It was like
machine.
And it's the same thing that's been said about us, that's been said about, like Biohazard or whoever, any hardcore band. The more metal bands, they love you. They won't take you on tour because they have to work too hard after you.
100%.
Even if the fucking audience, we toured with bands where the audience sings, everybody in the crowd is singing the next band's lyrics. The band still feel that they didn't put on a good show because we were 10 times the energy they were,
Yeah.
And that's why bands like us and AF and whoever, you don't get the breaks anymore. Number one, you're older, so they only want to keep bringing in young kids, and number two, even though we're older, we're still kicking their asses.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've said that so many times. It's like I've seen you guys in a tiny place like Bowery Electric or Webster Hall or big spots, and no matter what, it's like you guys, no matter how many people are there, what the size of it is. I'll watch on YouTube. You guys are playing gigantic festivals, and it's the same amount of energy. You leave everything there, and then you'll watch, other bands, and it's just.
Then we'll play Oregon on a Tuesday night to 60 people.
Right.
and we'll still give it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might not like it right as I'm going on stage. I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? But then after the first note, like 3 guys will just start going crazy and you start laughing and then the whole crowd gets into it.
Yeah. Yeah. You need that one little spark in that little small crowd and then it all gets set off. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's crazy. 14 years for Based on a True Story, 18 at the Tyrants, 35 for the first full length, and fucking 30 for Scratch the Surface.
Shit. And then
what does that feel like, dude? Like it's just such a stupid Barbara Walters type fucking stupid question. But
it's crazy because you never expected to do it,
Right. That's what I was.
Yeah. And it's not like, we had a master plan. I mean, of course, now we try to do things, but then shit comes out of the woodwork. Like, fucking forget it. COVID wrecked us. I mean, like everybody else, but we couldn't tour for 2 years, but it feels like it set us back 4 years.
Of course, yeah,
rough.
It's like, and I will thank, even though I thanked you in person. That was the last time we did a podcast together. Was at Nova while you were doing. While you were doing Wake the Sleeping Dragon, which thank you again for actually, or you and Jerry and everybody to actually have me participate in doing gang vocals, dude. Like that was something like how am I here? Like these are like great guys. I consider you guys like friends, but like I'm doing gang vocals on the Sick of It All record. Like that was fucking awesome, dude. Like for somebody who grew up as a fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys do, but do you guys have shit written? Are you going to be going back in the studio soon?
Well,
I know COVID fucked yous, and I know
COVID, Pete wrote like 30 songs. And I'd say out of the 30, there were 10 that were like album ready, But we couldn't, people like, can't tour, got to get a real job, And it's not like we're in our 20s anymore and we go, I'm going to work and then stay up all night writing and rehearsing and then I'm going to go right back to work. It was like I finished driving home from work for an hour, listening to the new songs. I got a great idea and I'll write something down and then I got to eat dinner and pass out now,
Yeah.
But
that must have been fucked up.
We're turning, we're finally, and to make up for lost time, as soon as COVID ended, we started touring again because we didn't really tour a lot off of Wake the Sleeping Dragon.
Right.
And I remember fans here in New York were like, we never got a real Wake the Sleeping Dragon show where you played this song, this song, this song. We played the highlights, like 4 songs.
Right.
And people wanted to hear like, why don't you play Robert Moses? Why don't you play this? And I'm like, because we're trying to appease everybody who hasn't seen us by playing such and such from 3 albums ago or from the first 2 albums. And yeah, it's all And then the other thing about after COVID is when they knew, everybody knew they were going to lift the ban, that everybody could tour. So everybody started reserving tour buses, reserving vans. And what did that do? It jacked the fucking prices up.
Of
and
course.
It's been how many years since COVID? And you know where the prices are? Still jacked up.
Of course. It'll never get.
And you know what's not going up? Band guarantees. They're
exactly.
Just right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
That's the thing. It's, the music industry, since I was a kid, I knew this from like hearing stories about the old rock and roll bands or the people on, R&B singers who like they sold 1 million records and they died penniless. It's because the band, the musician, is the last person to get the money.
Right. Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah, that must have sucked because you didn't have a real job, like since what, like built
not
to
since
last.
97.
Like built to last.
Yeah, not since 97.
And then in fucking 2020, was it, or 21? My time frame is fucked up because of it too.
Yeah, like 2020 to 21, whatever it was.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you got to go get a job. Like that must have been fucked up. And then everybody.
You should see my resume. Last job, 1997.
Yeah, what the fuck you been doing?
Oh, you had to be
touring the world, doing what I love.
Yeah, you had to be creative. Well, I can drive a van. I managed the merchandise. I did this. You had to come up with shit. I got to put I can do social media on there,
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to put on your fucking resume nowadays. You're proficient in social media. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. Fucking nuts. Yeah, fucking plus nobody knew what was gonna happen, when it was gonna end, if it was gonna get worse, what the next thing is. So crazy times, bro. Crazy times.
It still is, who knows what's going on. It's funny when we were going to Australia, we went to Australia and Japan, which we haven't been to since like 2017, and everybody's like, there are always the wise guys on the internet like, World War III's happening. I go, is it happening in Australia? I don't think so. So I'm going
right. Yeah. Fucking social media people and their blah blah blah. Oh, God. I've learned the skill to just not even participate in that kind of shit. Because then
exactly,
I'm like
you had a hard lesson on that one.
Oh yeah, dude.
Even if you're in the right and you have proof and you type it out intelligently, you're never gonna win. You'll never win.
No, never.
People, yeah.
People are set in their ways. Yeah, it's like a grown man trying to convince a grown man who's set in their ways to think like me, and even if there's it's a waste of time. It gets me aggravated, and then I think, what the hell am I doing? Like I'm not doing anything constructive with my time at all.
This is how messed up social media is. We had this incident where a female member of our crew was assaulted on stage by a singer of another band, like manhandled. And she fought back. And then when we heard of it, we were all backstage waiting to go on. And we heard about it, we came running on stage. And what were you going to do? Sit there and talk? This guy manhandled not only our crew member, but it was my brother's wife.
Oh, fuck.
And we got in there all angry. So whatever that happened with the situation, but social media, people were saying that's sick of it all. And they're toxic masculinity. This guy manhandled a woman. He manhandled her, attacked her. And when we came to her defense and we were pissed off, we're the villains.
Yeah, of course. That's how it works.
In that situation, our big mistake was having it on social media. We should have just never put it on social media.
Right.
It was so infuriating. You're like, I would literally sit there for hours typing back to these people like, he hit a woman. How are we talking? How do we have toxic masculinity? And they were like, "Oh, that's your big defense. He hit a woman." Yes, that's my defense.
Yeah, that's the catalyst. That's where it started.
It was so stupid. No, we were the bad guys.
Of course.
So fuck it. That's why we don't.
Yeah, I don't blame
everything. We try to stay out of social media. We don't let anybody. We don't like to get involved in that shit. And now when people say negative comments or try to buy that, I either just delete it or I just ignore it.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Fuck it. And I don't know if there's very many terms that make me kind of wince and cringe a little bit. Then toxic masculinity, it bothers me. It's just terrible. I don't know.
That's the stupid thing was they used that term on us when they were defending a guy who attacked a female.
Right. It makes no sense. It's everything.
You can't get more toxic than that.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't. Fuck crazy. Fuck. Well, hey, listen. How about what's going on? Well, all right. I know you'll probably be like, oh, here we go again. But for the kids at home that maybe aren't fully aware, I'm well aware. The whole catalyst of the Mobb Deep thing with the Sick of It All Dragon logo.
Oh.
All right. Now, like, you don't have to get deep into like the beginning of it, but I think you need to paint like a little picture because there's a story that goes for a long time with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe the kids don't know.
Mobb Deep, years ago when they put out the Hell on Earth album, or if they were going to put it out, they had this artwork of a burning world and it had a dragon on it.
Right.
And a friend of ours who grew up with us, she worked for the hip hop label, and she walked up to the art director. She goes, "Why do you have a Sick of It All dragon there?" He goes, No, that's a Mobb Deep dragon. And she goes, she had a necklace my brother made in like 1988. And she goes, "See this? I've had this since 1988. And the guy was just like, "Oh shit." So fast forward.
Not being in the right place at the right time at that point. Yeah. That's awesome.
So they do some research and then they go, "Oh shit. Okay, we can't use this on our album." But they had like the tattoo on their hands, whatever. That's fine. We don't care. Now come to 2023, and all of a sudden I wake up one day and I'm getting text messages from friends all over the world, not just New York, not just LA. I'm getting photos of Supreme skate stores, and in the window is an ugly giant purple shirt with a lime green Sick of It All dragon on it, or very similar to our dragon.
Very similar.
And then it says Mobb Deep Supreme crossover. And I'm like, or whatever they call it when they work together. Collab. So quietly, we don't go on social media, we don't go online. We talk behind the scenes, and they all admit they were wrong. But somehow the press got hold of this. You know how when music sites have nothing to talk about, and they're like, well, Sick of It All is kind of like a lot of the metal sites, like, well, Sick of It All is kind of metal, and they're suing this other thing. It got released. Again, who cares? You know who cared? A bunch of fucking bitter old hardcore people cared, because they started posting shit about like, I stand with Mobb Deep, blah, 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 this and that. I was just like, and I could see, did they not know that I could see their names?
I guess
I know this guy. I know this guy. And that guy used to promote it Wetlands. Why the fuck is he saying, fuck those guys, Mobb Deep all the way? You think Mobb Deep, first of all, it wasn't just Mobb Deep. It was a corporation.
Right.
These people who are, I'm the do-it-yourself, hardcore, blah, blah, blah. They're defending Supreme Skates, a corporation.
Yeah, a giant fucking corporation.
If you think it's two kids in fucking the West Village, you're wrong. It's
right.
It's a corporation.
Yeah.
And they took our logo that we had since 1988 or early 86.
Yeah.
Whenever 87 when the first 7-inch dropped. But anyway, besides, I was just so infuriated at seeing the names of these people. And there was a guy who I didn't know. I don't remember his name. I wish I did. I wish I remember the name of his band, because he said something that really pissed me off. Apparently, he used to be in the Craze, but he's not in the Craze anymore. I don't know who he was, but he wrote, "Hey, you'd sue too if you only played to 30 people a night." I'm like, obviously, you've never been to a Sick of It All show,
and you have
fucking loser.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Exactly. I was just like, who is this fat loser? So I look him up, and he plays in some shitty band, and I was just laughing because I'm like, Well, maybe he saw us in Oregon on the Tuesday night.
Maybe he was at that show, bro.
You know, but I'm telling you, to say that, I don't think we ever played to less than 150 people in New York City. You know,
right? Yeah, yeah. Talk about
but anyway, it was just I was just so pissed at like all these people. Some people did it. It was like in a humorous way, and I laughed at it. But the people that were like, "Yeah, I stand with Mobb Deep," and blah blah. The best thing is the posts got taken down when Richie from Wisdom and Chains, he just wrote, "Foul is the bird that pecks at its own nest." And then I was like, that is fucking genius. And right away, bang, everything's gone.
Dude, shout out to
that was cruel,
Richie fucking Crotch, man, because listen, Richie Wisdom and Chains, I love that dude. He is the biggest ball breaker. His online persona when it comes to certain shit, some people get pissed off, but I laugh because I know where he's coming from. That dude, yo, I have to actually get him back on here because when he comes on here, it's just nothing but shit talk. He's so sarcastic, but he's hilarious. But that's a brilliant statement.
But it was just weird. Like, why? First of all, why did you even care what we were doing? Yeah, and again, we didn't want this out. We didn't like run to the press. They stole from us. You know? Right. We didn't say anything of that. We just said, hey, this has been our logo for X amount of years, and we've been through this before. And they were like, oh, you're right. If their lawyers were like, the excuse was the guy who passed away handled all of that.
Oh, there's no paper trail. There's no nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, their lawyers and Supreme's lawyers were like, oh, okay, you're right. But the funny thing was that some hip hop guy was like, yo, if Havoc was alive, they ain't be suing nobody. And I felt like, and again, I stay off the end, but I felt like writing to him and go, he was alive the first time they tried this, and he apologized to us, and we did a song with them after that.
Yeah, you did Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah.
Yeah. After everything was pretty much a done deal, correct?
Yeah, yeah. After it was all squished, they said, hey, we're doing this rock rap thing, and we were like, all right. And Armine wrote the music for that.
Yeah.
But it was, it's just weird how I can't fathom turning against your peers or your people that we grew up with, like.
Yeah, and for what
and in a private matter too, it had nothing to do with hardcore. It had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. It's fucking, I don't know.
But it was silly. But again, all you gotta do, don't argue on the internet.
No, because all you're doing is wasting your time and you get yourself aggravated. You're never gonna win because there's always gonna be the other person that chimes in, and then the other person. Exactly. It's 6,000 people, and you're gonna have to say so and so, and then you can't even find the person's response to you. And that's what I'm doing, trying to find who the fuck said that, who said that shit. It's what am I doing? Yeah. What am I doing, man?
I mean, there were friends of ours that came to our defense, and the smartest, like Richie was the best, but the smartest ones were like, "This is none of anybody's business,"
100%. It's not. It's not. People have no lives, bro. They
like if somebody like some of the guys that said, "Shit, what if somebody tripped on your front walk and started suing you?" I'm gonna call and take their side. Yeah. Fuck you and your broken sidewalk. Yeah.
It's the same shit. Unfucking believable.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. It's fucking silly shit. Fuck. So supposedly in November, that would be fucking
in New York.
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in like a while, and I don't know why. I
remember the last New York show we did.
Was it with like Agony?
Yes, in Queens. Right. I think that was the last one. Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah, but I wasn't there, and I kicked myself. They do. November.
Oh, it was a good show.
November.
Yeah. I mean, we're like I said, we're writing in. I think our last tour ends in the middle of August, and then we're gonna write, all through August, September, October, and then do pre-production and all that shit.
Same spot.
Me and Pete. Yeah, to record probably. Yeah. I mean, I love it there. It's easy for all of us, and Jerry's great. And then we use Tu Manson, who's probably gonna mix it again.
Okay.
Tu wants us to fly to Denmark again and do it. The only thing that tempts me is the last time we did it was based on a true story, and like I said, I love that the way that came
Yeah.
out. But I love working with Jerry, and I've never felt more comfortable doing vocals than with Jerry because we work on it like while they're writing or they're tracking. Me and Jerry are in another room or in another building. Like I was in his childhood bedroom in Brooklyn doing vocal
Oh, really?
doing vocal demos all
Yeah.
leading up to that album.
Yeah. That place is incredible, man. Like
Yeah,
I
like
walked,
that.
I was just like, I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. Like, wow, good for Sick of It All. They're recording here. Like, this is fucking awesome. Next thing you know, me and Armand are in the back with petting miniature ponies.
Yeah, and
Like,
chickens.
where am I right now?
And Staten Island.
Yeah.
We just love to tell everybody because it was Steven Seagal's house at one point. So
It was. But where you guys record, that was like the guest house, right?
yeah. No, that the house next door was the producer who he did all of Steven Seagal's hit movies. And
Oh,
then
really?
Steve lived at that house. So it was Steven, and then when he left, he took over the whole property.
So wasn't that when Steven Seagal was married to Kelly LeBrock?
Yeah, you should ask. You got to have Jerry and ask him about stories about him and Frankie, the son of the producer, when they would spy on Kelly LeBrock at the pool.
Oh, that's awesome. Who wouldn't do that? I would. I would be a creep. It's fucking
Well, like young kids are like, holy shit, it's Kelly LeBrock and she's a bikini.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's the fucking weird science fucking girl.
Yeah.
Awesome.
we got that going on. Me and Peter working on going back to the do a tour in the punk rock museum, but it's gonna be tied in with like we'll do it together and we'll have like a book signing because we never did a book signing and shit like that. But that's all in the works. It's not solid yet, but
Yeah.
I had fun. I did a tour, the punk rock museum.
I need to go. I haven't been. I need to get there.
It's really cool. It has a real great representation of hardcore. Like they didn't like fucking like in New York hardcore. No, it's not like when you read about CBGBs and it's all like television and
Blondie,
Talking Heads, and then
and Ramones. There's always four bands that they always talk about: Television, Blondie, the Talking Heads, and the Ramones. That's all that ever played there.
And then it says, and then it ended in 2006 or whatever the year it ended. And then you're like, from 80 to fucking 2006, who kept it open?
Exactly, guys like you, guys like you, and
but
God.
No, I was gonna say, but the punk rock museum is really good. It's a lot of fun. I keep telling Craig to do it. That guy, he likes to talk. He's got to go. Armine should go too because they have a big. Now, when I went, they had a small display, but now they have a bigger display of Motorhead and Lemmy because he was like the glue of all the different music styles.
Yeah,
it's like even in punk and hardcore, like we love them and we're like a gruff. We're not Beach Boys sounding melodic, and then you have the West Coast bands that are West Coast, Beach Boys sounding melodic, and we all love Motorhead.
Everybody loves Motorhead. Everybody, the metalheads love Motorhead. Everybody loves Motorhead.
The straight up rock and roll people love them.
Yeah, we're Motorhead and we play rock and roll. It's like
it was fun. When I moved here to where I live now in Jersey, I went to a Starbucks one day off of Route 22, and I walk in and there's this old guy in front of me. Old man. He turns around and he looks at my hat and he said Motorhead. And he goes, Motorhead? I haven't heard of that in years. He goes, shame. They were a great band. I go, oh, you know Motorhead? He goes, yeah, I worked at A&M Records. I was their guy. I go, oh, cool. He goes, great music. Shame about his voice. He goes, that's what kept him off the radio. And I was like, that's just American radio. They're stupid,
Yeah, American radio's
too
dumb.
rough.
Yeah. Fucking lucky, man. Fucking crazy. Yeah, I remember where I was when I heard that he died. Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't mean to bring the fucking mood down or anything like that, but I have to fucking say that I'm a lot disturbed over Eddie Leeway.
Yeah.
Dude. He Yeah, it's not a good situation. You
No,
know,
I feel for him, man.
I fucking feel for that guy. He is Leeway is the band that because I grew up as a metalhead, listening, to the old typical stuff, the old Metallica's and Testament and Violence from the West
Yeah, yeah.
Coast and all that shit. And then I've told this story a billion times, but I'll keep it short. I went to L'Amour's. It was the beginning of 1990. I was 14, and I went to go see Suicidal on the Lights Camera Revolution tour.
Yeah.
And it was White Zombie, Leeway, Suicidal. I had heard of Leeway. I'd seen them on flyers. I never heard a note, and I never seen them live until that night. And since I was a metalhead, they came on, and the fucking place went fucking crazy. And
Yeah.
from there, I was a chubby kid with the sickest mullet. And I'm just like, I had a crazy mullet, bro. And I was just like, what do we have here? And the next day, I bought Born to Expire. And then he was like, the guy who sold to me was like, if you like this, then you'll like this. And he sold me Agnostic Front, Liberty, and Justice, which is a very metal record. So it was the perfect segue from being such a metalhead into the crossover stuff. And then that's when I went back in time and I found Victim in Pain, Blood, Sweat, and No Tears. And then it was off to that. And I saw AJ Novella the other day at Astoria Soundworks, and we were bullshitting for a little bit. And so Leeway and to become friends with Eddie, and he was on the podcast a few times, and every single time I saw him, either live or in person, outside bullshitting for an hour and a half outside the venue or whatever, he was always a fucking sweetheart gentleman to me. You know what I mean? He was always a kind guy. And to know that he's in hospice right now and it's really not good,
That's horrible.
It sucks. It really sucks, bro.
It's not good. I mean, I had to watch my mom go through that. I had to go down to South Carolina and help take care of her on her last 2 months of her life. Me and my older brother did. It was not fun,
No,
fun. Now my and it's like I remember our first show was at the Right Track Inn, and then I remember going to see Leeway at the Right Track Inn and buying the Leeway demo, from them for like $2. The Enforcer, yeah.
Do you still have it?
Probably not. I think my parents threw all my shit out when they moved to South Carolina. They were like, "Come get your shit," and I'm like, "I live in an apartment and I got no room for it," and it was in the garbage. But yeah, I mean, shit like that. It was great. Leeway was amazing, man.
Leeway was fucking so good, man. So
that's another. It's just so weird. It's like East Coast bands seem to, some reason, the ones that should be huge just shoot themselves in the foot somehow.
Yeah.
We can have a discussion about Leeway another time.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
I like hearing that anybody, like when Mike Gibbons passed away. I haven't spoke to Mike in years, but we were always all cool together. He's a great guy, always a smile.
Yeah,
I wish that. I think Mike financed it all himself or whatever. He did a Leeway documentary that's like on
The Forgotten Ones. It's on Amazon.
He could have just made a phone call, and he could have had so many other interviews.
Yeah,
I would have done it. Could have talked to probably anybody, Roger, anybody. He could have had so many people, discussing it. I could have put him in touch with the guys from Municipal Waste who love Leeway. I could have put him.
Yeah.
Why would you just do that yourself?
I don't know. Maybe he just needed to get some.
I understand he wanted to do himself, but he could have just fucking made a phone call or
Yeah.
talk to so and so. Hey, do you think so and so will be interested in this? And come on.
Yeah, of course.
For what it is, I think 20 minutes of it is good. The rest is it just comes off bad, and it's not a legacy. Their legacy shouldn't be left like that,
Right. Maybe someone will do it proper. Maybe. That would be maybe. That would be nice. That would be cool. But yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to, because I just saw it. I realized that I'm wearing a fucking Leeway shirt, so it's like we're just talking. So I was like, hey, ugly fucking.
Well, I mean, AJ, before Craig got in the band, he had, I think, a week left with Agnostic Front, but we had shows booked. We had Japan. We were doing our first time in Japan. and we had like a week of European shows, and AJ said, "Yeah, I'll play bass," and AJ came and played bass with us for those.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
This is after they did Desperate Measures, and they're doing what came after Desperate Measures. Which one was it?
Crash.
Adult Crash. And he played us the demos in the van, and we sat there, and he was like, he was so psyched, and when he saw the looks on me, he goes, "What's the matter?" I go like, "It sounds like fucking bad wannabe Pearl Jam," and he was like, "Nah, man, we're ahead of the game." I go, and I looked at him. I said, "No, you were ahead of the game on your other two records.
Yes.
That's when you're ahead of the game." And he was like, "Nah, you guys don't know what he's talking about."
And
I felt so bad.
Yeah, Adult Crash is slept on, I think. Is it their finest moment? No, but there's a handful of songs on that record that it's
every band goes through that.
But but it's I think that everybody, it's the third record. Everyone is automatically going to compare it to the first two, which are classics. And it's like, it's not as crazy. But then the fourth record, Open Mouth Kiss, is fucking incredible. It's AJ's personal favorite that they've ever done. And it's hard.
I have to give that another listen because I was not into it. There was
Open Mouth
I can't remember
Kiss.
the name of the song. There was one song on that album that I was like, "That's the Leeway I like," and then the rest like,
Hornet's Nest, probably.
Can't.
Or for Open Mouth
I have to listen.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember my own song titles.
I know you don't even know who did what. You don't even know what songs you
wrote. One song,
and you have no idea what it is. That's insane. That's fucking funny. Yeah, give it another. Open Mouth Kiss is a great record. Give it another little spin. It's on YouTube. Just listen to the whole thing.
What a fucking killer band back then, though, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I seen them so many times, especially in like the early '90s, especially the early '90s when there was so many clubs like the Marquee and the Continental and CB Moors and even like the Limelight. I saw Leeway. I don't know how many times in like 1993. I seen them like 15 times. It's like never Leeway. It was Leeway. It was always like Life of Agony before the River Runs Red record with like Mucky Pup and Leeway.
We went on that tour. We went on that tour. Bad Brains Quickness tour was. We did not even half of it. We met up with it in Salt Lake City. It was Sick of It All, Leeway, Bad Brains. Great fucking shows.
Yeah, that's ridiculous right there.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Fuck. Jeez.
And we were supposed to do the New York show, but the Bad Brains manager got some band called Planet Dread. They paid to get on the bill. So Sick of It All gets kicked off because we weren't paying,
Right, no, fuck that. But you should have been a shoe-in, though, because you're a New York band. Like,
I thought they would make it a 4-band bill.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just do that?
No, it was a 3-band bill. It was Planet Dread, Leeway, and Bad Brains. That was it.
It's not that good of a show without you guys.
Who the fuck is Planet Dread? Where are they?
I have no idea. Who are they? Never even heard of them. You mentioned I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's like what was it? Just recently, like this past week, April, going back to was it 98 or whatever? We did that tour with Beastie Boys when they were called Quasar.
Awesome. Awesome.
I wrote like Quasar. Whatever happened to those kids?
Yeah. Fucking.
They're another bunch of guys. It's like, they're the hugest band in the world, and they were just like guys that hung out at CB's. They were like those same guys. Like, we're doing jokes together. We're making fun of each other. We had a great time on stage.
One of my favorites. I mean, come on, how do you not like the Beastie Boys? And people are like, oh yeah, I love the Beastie Boys. That Fight for Your Right song. I'm like, it's like, come on, dude. They have so much stuff, and every album is completely different, innovative, ridiculous, incredible.
Great.
Yeah, man. So you got 30 years of Scratch the Surface, 18 of Death to Tyrants, 35 of the first record. That I didn't even realize, which is nuts. Makes me feel old. And
what about me?
Yeah, I know. I thought about that as I said it, and then and then 14 years of based on a true story. Fucking incredible, dude. And you're right. New record. Pete was busy during lockdowns.
Yeah,
good. That's good.
It's funny because, like I said, you speak to different people, and it's like in Europe, in Australia, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't play enough off yours truly. which I love that album, but there's two mistakes. One being we tuned down for one or two songs, and when we did that, I said we should really tune down for the whole album. Like the way we play now, which is I'm not a guitar guy, so I don't know if it's a full step or a half step down, whatever it is. But Craig was like, nah, then we'll just sound like everybody else, like Hatebreed and whatever. I was like, all right. The second mistake was that ugly ass cover, and everybody knows I hate it.
Everyone knows you hate it. I know you hate it.
But I sit there and I listen to the songs, and I always sit there and go, I love it the way it is, but if it was tuned down, I think it would have had a wider appeal. And it's funny because I remember at that time when it came out, Jamie was still on Headbangers Ball, and he was in some magazine, and they asked him, what are you listening to? He goes, oh, my favorite album, hands down, Sick of It All, yours truly. And I was like, oh shit, that's great.
Awesome. Yeah. That was around the time. See, I'm such a nerd. This is around the time you were doing yours truly when you put out the video based on a true story.
Yeah, I think it came after that. It was like
you were recording it because
for it or something.
You were writing for it, and you were doing some vocals, and you were arguing with I don't remember who, but the lyrics in the song nails, and you were saying that it sounds like I'm saying cannoli instead of can.
Yeah. I love that song.
Yeah, Nails is a great song. Nails is a great song. But yeah,
I love Blown Away. Nails.
Dude, even America is a great fucking
song. Oh, it is. We bring that one in and out. I wish we should bring back Blown Away. But like I said, now everybody wants Scratch the Surface set. And right. Like, all right, we're gonna put a bunch of that in.
Yeah.
When it was our 30th anniversary, we have this fan. We say he's the one fan we got from the Slayer tour. This guy in Georgia. He told me that he was a fan before, but I always think that we just got him when we toured with Slayer. That was the one guy who went to the show and said, I like Sick of It All. And he came. We call him War Ensemble.
Nice.
That's his nickname.
That's his nickname? That's a great nickname.
He loves when I imitate his voice. I imitate his voice in the book too. But on our 30-year anniversary, he said, I'm going to write you what I think is the perfect Sick of It All set. I'm going to take 2 songs from each of your albums. And it fucking was killer.
Yeah.
It was a great set. And I was like, we should do this. But we didn't. But one of these days, we're going to do the War Ensemble set, and he's going to intro them. We'll fly him up to New York and be like, here's my set I wrote for Sick of It All. That'd be
awesome. That'd be like a huge moment for that guy.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He's great. He's a lot of fun. And he's one of those guys, he doesn't care, like, he has no filter. He doesn't get embarrassed. Yeah. We did it. We played Georgia, and it was us and like, I think it was Most Precious Blood, and somebody else was opening. And we're all sitting on the stage, and after the show, we're all really tired. And the guys from Most Precious Blood, he walks up and he goes, well, that was horrible. And I go, you hated the show? He goes, not you guys, but them other bands, jeez, they all sucked. and Justin's like, oh, you really hated us? He's like, I just wasn't really into you. He wasn't embarrassed. Didn't try to back out of it. He was like, I just didn't like you.
Very matter of fact. Oh well, fuck it. That's
cracked me up.
Fucking War Ensemble, huh?
I love the fact that Justin is a city councilman and he's still
right here.
Shows.
His office is like 3 blocks from where I'm sitting.
I love that. I'll be listening to 1010 Wins in my car and back, and Councilman Justin Brent, and he gets on the radio. I'm like,
yeah, it's a super fucking indecision.
Yeah.
I know that guy. It's fucking funny.
I did tours with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did an episode with him around the first time that me and you and John Lamacchia, Candiria, did the first one.
Yeah.
That was a snowstorm, and I got fucking horrible pizza. It was a snowstorm. I was like, I gotta get pizza. It was like the only spot that was open or some shit. There's a snowstorm or some shit. But it was like a couple of before, like maybe a couple after Justin Brandon was in John's house, and we did an episode with him. He needed killers. Like we had to get in touch with like his like secretary who handles appointments, and he could squeeze in and out because he had to go somewhere to do like some guest speaking. It's like,
yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, he's in it. He's in.
Good, Daddy.
Go figure.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. I think '99 was a great year for touring because we did the Slayer tour. We had a ball. We made friends with Meshuggah. The guys in Slayer were cool. Well, Tom was great. And then the tour after that was Sick of It All, AFI, Hot Water Music, and Indecision. One of my favorite tours ever. What a mixed, totally mixed bill.
Yeah,
and people were so hyped. They danced for every band except like one California show where after AFI played, everybody was like dead tired, and we went on, and it was like really trying, but they were like, "You good?" But we're tired. But they were like, we did a show in Orange County, and Indecision went on first, and I was so psyched to see there were all these kids who looked like, before Hot Topic, the prototype of like they had the Big Dickie shorts and chain belts and Blink 182 shirts going wild to Indecision. I was like,
really?
Those kids wearing Blink 182 shirts and they're fucking
yeah. That's awesome.
Great. That was like, to me, that was our last, like, this is what hardcore should be like tour. Like, punk kids, metal kids, the alternative kids.
Yeah.
Also on that tour, the guys we played in Florida, a bunch of shows in Florida, and Hot Water Music's from down there, and their wives came to the show, and they came up to us at the last show, and they go like, "We really love you guys, and you're the nicest guys, and you're great, but your fans are fucking scary." In Florida, but in Florida, especially back then, there would just be, "Oh, we're playing in Tampa. Oh, well, the people from Miami are coming." And then there'll be a big riot in the parking lot because the Miami kids don't like the Tampa kids.
Oh, God.
And then, we're playing Miami. Oh, the Tampa kids are coming to that show, too. Oh, there's another riot.
Jesus Christ.
We were playing at one show, I think it was Miami. A fight broke out outside, but it spilled into the club. They smashed the door.
It was inside. It was like opposite.
Yeah, like all of like Hot Water Music's wives were selling their merch right at the front. They were just like, "Oh shit!" That's when they told us that they loved us, but our fans are scary.
Nice.
Now our fans are too old. Somebody said to me on the Australian tour, this guy goes, "What did you think of the show?" I go, "It was great. It was great." I go, "You guys don't stage dive anymore." He goes, "Well, we're old." He goes, "You guys have outlasted your fans." I was like,
"Yeah, it's true. It's probably true." Like I'll lace up my shoes. Like I have like a whole thing that I do. I wear my sneakers normal, and when I know I'm gonna dance, I have to like tighten them up because I don't want to be the idiot looking for my shoe. There's always that one guy looking for his fucking shoe. I want to be that guy. And if I'm there with somebody, I take everything out of my pockets, my phone, money, ID, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I have like a routine. I need a routine, or else I'll lose a shoe, I'll lose my phone, and all that shit. But there's a couple of bands that I'll dance to, and that'll be like you guys. Like if I see Biohazard again, if they play, I'll dance to them because I grew up on, obviously on that shit too.
Yeah,
I don't know. Life of Agony, I still feel like I need to shake my ass to sometimes too. It's you know what it is. It's my soundtrack. It's from that time frame where it's just just what it is.
What's good about you is you like later stuff of the bands too. Just like the first album was the best. No, it's not. Listen to it. It's a piece of shit. Sonically, sound wise.
I love that fucking first record. I don't care what you say. I
love the songs on it. I want to bring back Disillusioned in the set. I hope I'd like.
Yeah. You don't want to do fucking
Not stick together.
My Revenge.
My Revenge. That was the first song on mine wrote for Sick of It All. He actually said he wrote it for Rest in Pieces, but he said it'll fit us. It'll fit Sick of It All better.
I love that song.
That's some trivia that people don't know.
I didn't even know that, and I like to think that I know some stuff, but I didn't know. It's great.
That's fucking hardcore.
Who did the fucking the little silly voice? Was that Armand?
I think I was Richie.
No, what was it? Richie said,
"I'm still dancing." Yeah,
I'm still dancing. Leave me alone. I'm still dancing.
Oh, I miss Richie. Oh wait, I got a picture that I don't put up. I wanted to put. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's sitting here in this is my makeshift studio. It's a bathroom in my basement.
Is it really?
Old Jennifer Lopez picture.
Oh,
There's
I
my
like
microphone up
that.
there. Hold on. Let me show you this photo that a friend of ours.
I knew it was a makeshift studio, but I had no idea that you were going to tell me it was in a bathroom.
I know the lights away, but look, there's Ricky,
Oh, that's
me,
awesome.
CBGB's, I think 88.
Wow.
That's a good
That's
picture.
a great
I
shot.
want to send this to. It was supposed to go to the Punk Rock Museum, but they never called me back on that one.
Really?
They thought I was going to carry it on the plane there. I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
I'll fucking mail it to you. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Roger is going back there very soon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I saw something on this thing.
And he should do one too. Everybody.
Oh God.
The thing is, it's so close to the West Coast. It's the West Coast bands draw more people.
Of course. Yeah.
The day I went, it was so messed up. My flight got delayed. I was supposed to fly the night before. I didn't end up going and landing till 7 a.m. I had to go from the airport straight to the Punk Rock Museum. They walked me through the museum once, and as soon as I went through the museum once by myself, there's a crowd of people waiting for me.
You must have been like, Jesus Christ.
I'm like jet lagged. I was like, all right. And it's like, this is the best part. There was 18 people there. And I'm like, oh, I'm Luke Koller from Sick of It All, and blah, 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 talking. And they're all just staring at me. And I go, okay, let's go into the first room. So we walk into the first room, and I'm talking about, the New York Dolls, Dead Boys, this and that. And all of a sudden, the guy from desk, wait a minute, who's here for the Sick of It All tour? And two people raised their hand. And he goes, who is here for the guy from Adolescence? And everybody else raises their hands.
Oh.
And they go, well, I said I was from Sick of It All. And
yeah.
And then they leave. But my first tour was just two people from Germany, and they were psyched, like, we have a private tour. And
hell yeah. That was
good. I loved it because we just sat and talked about every exhibit.
Yeah.
But it took me 2 hours to take them through the whole thing. And they loved, especially when we got to New York stories and all that. And then at the end, I drop them off, and then they walk. They go, how was it? I go, oh, it was actually really good. They go, okay, your next group is here. And there's 6 people waiting. I'm like, oh. So my first experience there was right into the touring. And I did 4 tours that day in a row. And then I went back then I went to the hotel, checked in, and fell asleep.
Oh my God, you must have been shocked.
Yeah. But there's a lot of cool shit in there. You'll see, like, they got Ray B's boots. They got, stuff from, like I said, New York Dolls and Johnny Thunders, and then they got, Misfit stuff and the Damned, and then it goes on to later stuff. It's great. They Boston, New York, Detroit,
Yeah. What do they got for you guys?
They got a picture, one of the original Alleyway pictures for the 7-inch.
Nice.
They got Pete's boots, some other, I forget what else they have, but I want to send them this picture. I gotta get on that.
What's the high school? What's the school that the Alleyway picture was taken again?
Oh God, it's a Sanford Ave and 147th Street, but I can't remember the name of it.
Sanford Ave.
I have to look it up.
No, you gotta look it up. We didn't
I
use
don't remember.
You don't even remember. You used to hang out in there.
When we hang up, it's all gonna pop into my head.
Of course it is.
I'll be laying in bed and like, it was this song, it was this school. Yeah, we hung out there for years.
Did you write? I want to guess. Did you write Maria White Trash?
No, that was Armand.
Okay,
that was Armand.
Okay,
he was living in the house that time when that incident happened. And he wrote the song. And it was funny. We went. The girl who's written about
that song.
She lives in New Mexico, and she brought her kids to see us in Suicidal, and her kids were like, did you write Maria White Trash about our mom? And Alma goes, yeah. And then she's covered her face, and she goes like, yes. They were so excited.
That's awesome.
Because she said before they went to the show, she goes, I told them, and they said, my nickname, you guys gave me the nickname Maria White Trash, and they thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you write it about my mom? That's hilarious.
I love that. We used to play that in Germany.
Great song.
We would be at a festival, like 20, 30,000 people. I'd be like, when I say Maria, you yell white trash, and we'd go into the song and go, Maria, and 30,000 people yell white trash. It was fucking great.
Awesome, dude.
I like that song, but it's another song. It's like, it's Sick of It All style where it's an unorthodox, groove at the end. So, because like this isn't the same groove that all these bands use that they learned from Marauder. We can't dance to it,
Right. Yeah.
Like, no, this is our style.
Yeah. Maybe for the 20-year anniversary, that the Tyrant show, pop a little Maria White trash in the set. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be good. We have to choose. We got to do like this year. We should have took 3 albums, like scratch the first one and one other where it's a big anniversary, do them, and then like next year do like Death to Tyrants, Yours Truly, and whatever else.
Built to Last.
Yeah. Oh god, that's another one. Yeah.
Bring fucking Laughing Stock back.
Laughing Stock. That was a good song.
That's a good song. You know what? God.
I think it's too long.
Laughing Stock? Really?
We got very short attention spans. Yeah. Yeah. We write songs. It's like, man, it's hitting the 3-minute mark. This shit's like an epic, That's just us.
Back years and years ago, when I had that clothing line, we remember when we did like a little collaboration with the long sleeve shirts. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I asked you, like, can I like use like lyrics for the back of it? And you're like, well, what lyrics? And I was like, I want to use like the chorus to Don't Follow. You're like, why that song? You're like, I gotta ask Armand if it's cool because he wrote that. You're like, yeah, go ahead and use it. But like, I love that song too. I don't think I've ever seen you guys.
That's enough. We used to play it, and it's funny because you sent me the fake profile of Pete, the fake one of Armand.
Yeah,
there's one of Craig that we.
Yeah, I see like Armand liked my post. I'm like, hold on. So I looked and as I screenshot it, you. I'm like,
that's the thing. The guy, he keeps liking people. The Pete one likes people's posts. So does that guy. It might be the same person.
Yeah.
They're probably buttering you up to hit you up to be like, hey, I have this business investment.
Yeah, come on.
That happened to a guy we knew, not a hardcore guy, but he became friends with us, and he met Joe from Wisdom through us.
Right.
And one day I got a message from him. He goes, hey, are you good friends with Joe? I'm like, yeah, I know Joe. He's like, he's hitting me up for an investment. I go, dude, that's not Joe. He would never do. No. And sure enough, it was a scam.
Of course. That happened? That happened to me. The actor Jeff Kober who played the possessed guy in fucking The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips?
The which movie?
The First Power. Remember that movie with Lou Diamond Phillips?
Yeah.
The evil guy. He was also in Sons of Anarchy. He was in The Walking Dead. Jeff Kober. If you see his face, you know exactly who he is. I did an episode with him, but I'm on the phone with him. I'm talking to him on the phone about stuff before we recorded. And then I get off the phone and his Instagram sent me a message and was like on Instagram. And he was like, yo, like, you want to check this? Like, check. I literally, dude, 10 seconds after I hung up the phone with the real person, it hit me up and they were like, yo, check this out. And I clicked this fucking link. Next thing you know, my phone starts going crazy on my email. My Instagram password was changed. 2-factor authentication was changed. All this shit. I watched it happen. I'm in my bedroom. I was sitting right here on this bed watching this, wondering what the fuck is going on. And then I called him back. I'm like, yo, he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you my Instagram was hacked. So then he had mine. So the Blast Furnace Instagram page has still been hacked. I cannot get into it.
Wow.
They changed it back to the
I remember when that happened.
But then they put on 2-factor authentication. So it'll say like, yo, what are these 6 numbers? And I don't have those numbers. And the phone number is different. So I can't get in. I did the face thing, the face video to recognize me, but I don't have pictures of me. It's pictures of the people I have on flyers. Yeah. Nothing personal on there. So it's been hacked.
It's weird. Like I said, Craig had one for years he can't get rid of, like a fake one. And Facebook doesn't help you. None of those things help you. No. Instagram doesn't help you. They don't care. It's nothing new.
I have like 4,000 followers on the Blast Furnace thing. What the fuck do they care about me? It's not a verified.
I remember when that happened. I get shit all the time for the band mainly on Facebook. It always says. And it's funny because I get 5 different messages from 5 different companies saying like, Meta Security, you have copyright infringements, and then such and such Meta, you have copyright infringements. If you don't act now, I just delete.
Yeah, it's just
sometimes I give the finger emoji and send it and delete. You know,
yeah.
just
There you
robots.
go.
Anyway.
God only knows what happened, because I know you run the Sick of It All Instagram and you have a fucking shit ton of followers on there. God only knows what the fuck your view of it is. It's probably a shit show.
And that's the other thing is like they'll send that and say, oh, you have copyright infringements. But Facebook, again, when I make those videos and I put Sick of It All songs in it, they're like, this is muted in Canada, such and such, in whatever country, because you don't own the rights. I'm like, it's my fucking song.
Yeah.
It's our song. We wrote that.
Yeah. It's fucking
But I
ridiculous.
guess it's Sony licensed the rights to, you know, whatever, RCA or A&M in Canada,
Right.
and they don't know who the fuck we are.
Right. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, so yeah,
That's the thing.
It's so don't click on fucking weird links.
Yeah. And being young and all that, when we signed the record deals and all that, you know, we didn't know. Like our first record deal to Relativity,
yeah,
they said 7 records, it's a standard contract, and we laughed. We were like, we're never gonna be together for 7 records.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and we signed it like idiots. And you know, and then it's like Sony. Everybody's like, you should do a reissue of Scratch the Surface. You should do a reissue of this. I can't find them anywhere. I'm like, some of those records we don't own the rights, and it's funny when like Sony bought out Century Media and took all those records or the first 2 albums. We were saying like, look, it's not a gold album. It's nothing big. Why don't you just give us the rights back? And they were like, you're a sub gold album. For the amount of money we put into you, you guys bring us back X amount more. So it's better for us just to license it out. So that's why the first 2 albums got a reissue in Italy like 10 years ago. Then all of a sudden, 4 years later, it was reissued in Germany. Then it was reissued in fucking Poland, because they're like, okay, you have the rights for a year. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
Instead of just giving it back to us or selling it to us, you know?
Yeah. I've been recently replenishing my albums, my record collection, because when my daughter was first born, that's right, you rubbed my daughter's mother's belly in Mike Scandato's store, the Brooklyn Monster Factory. Yeah, my daughter's 14 years old and she tells me all about myself now. It's insane. She's fucking, it's insane. She's awesome though. But
that is great.
Yeah. So right when she was born, you know, new father, a little nervous. So I was like, my record collection, whatever. And I started selling my records, which is a normal thing that people do. And now I'm like, I want to get my shit back. And I'm looking, I recently got a first pressing of Blood, Sweat, and No Tears.
Oh, wow.
First pressing. And it was. I
don't even have one.
You know, how do you not have it? Roger has all of his own shit. Ron's like the huge collector. You don't have any of it?
I know I have a lot of it, but I don't think I have first pressings anymore, because I'd be, I'll give it to you, I'll get another one, you know?
Yeah, no, they're hard to come by. And it definitely wasn't fucking, you know, $9.99, you know, back in the day. I don't know, because I had one and I sold it years ago, 14 years ago. I don't remember what I paid for it now, but I just recently got one. I'm looking at it. And I think I told you, I think I might do it. I might pull the trigger, but it's kind of hard because I used to have one, but it's a first pressing of the first 7-inch, and the picture, and you look inside and it says 018. It's number 18.
Wow.
And it's like 400.
I have one of the. I think I have test pressing 2 and 3 of the 7-inch.
Really? It's like 400.
Of course, like, you know, I don't know if it was Jordan or Ray of today. They always kept the first test pressing because they were like super collector nerds.
Yeah. You know? See, I would love that shit. That's a low number. I don't think I've ever seen 18, but it's like $500. It's $500. Yeah. Dude,
why are people going online making fun of that guy?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no, you can make fun.
Doesn't see that. That's perfectly okay that somebody else makes money off of you, but you know, God forbid you try to, you know,
it's like $500 together. Yeah, it's like $500. Bro, first press of the fucking United Blood is $2,000.
I don't want to hear that because I had this is a little story, and I believe Roger has it now. I had a United Blood, and this girl that Pete was dating way back then was a weird collector, like straight edge collector girl. And I always kept my shit in my parents' basement. And apparently they came over and they were hanging out in the basement, listening to records, whatever. And then like a couple of weeks later, she comes over and she goes, Pete, look what I got. Look, I got a first pressing Pay to Come. I go, where'd you get that? She goes, I traded Roger a United Blood 7-inch. She goes, a United Blood 7-inch I had because he didn't have any. He didn't have a copy of United Blood. And I go, oh, wow, I got a copy down the basement. She goes, oh, cool. And then we talk, and then her and Pete go out, and I go, yeah, I'm going to listen to my United Blood. I go downstairs. I'm looking through my records. It's not here.
Oh.
She stole my fucking United Blood and traded it to Roger for a Pay to Come 7-inch.
Wow, that's crazy. I would be pissed. I would be so pissed off.
It was horrible.
Yeah, $2,000. And then real quick, because I had Louis Beto on not that long ago. It was awesome talking to him. And before I did like a little research, and if you go into Discogs, before Carnivore, there was a band called Fallout. And they put out a 7-inch, and it's 2 songs, one on each side. There's one copy, first pressing of it. There was maybe like, I don't know, 250 made, and it was almost $9,000. $8,700 for a Fallout 7-inch. I told Louis, he fell off his chair. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I wonder if it's the one that I sold him. But he's like, I gave one to somebody. It might be the same guy. I'm like, yeah, it's $8,700 for a Fallout 7-inch.
Better go check his garage, see if he's got any more.
Yeah, he better. Fuck, it's autography. You jack that price right up. Some fucking whack.
I have a bunch of shit. I have like Misfits 7-inches, and everybody's like, if you're ever gonna sell them, call me first. I'm like, I don't even think of that shit. You know?
Yeah. Some of that Misfits stuff is crazy. Like the Red Bullet 7-inch. That shit's like $3,000.
A funny story about that. When CB's was still around, there was this guy from Astoria. I can't remember his name. Really nice guy, very quiet. And when I first got into the scene going to CB's, he was there for like a year before he left. He'd been going since he was a little kid. So one day I'm at CB's, I walk outside, I see him, I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just not into the same one. I'm getting rid of my 7-inches. And I look and he's got the Misfit. I go, and I wasn't a record collector. So I'm like, dude, you could get big bucks for this shit. He goes, nah, I just, I'm asking $3 for each, whoever, I want somebody to enjoy it the way I did. And the best thing is Ray and Purcell were such record collectors that when they heard somebody went to Some Records and said, hey, look what I just bought. This guy's got a whole box of them and he's selling for like $3. Ray and Purcell, the story I got was, from the guy from Some Records, Dwayne, said that Ray and Purcell said, can we borrow some money? And they got cash and they came running down. I remember seeing them running down the street, and I was I don't know why I found it very satisfying that when they got there, all the records were gone.
Oh,
I'm just like,
fuck.
And it was funny because I ran into that guy years later. Rage Against the Machine did like 5 nights at the Roseland, and they invited me and Pete down one night. And after the show, I'm walking out and I see that guy, and I go, hey, what's up? How you been? I go, what'd you think? And his girlfriend was like, they were awesome. And I go, what's your think? And he goes, I liked them better when they were called the Bad Brains. Like,
oh shit.
But it was good. I just thought it was cool that he loved the music so much. He had a good job. He made money. He goes, I want to make money off this. I want somebody to enjoy it the way I used to enjoy it. And he gave, sold him for what he paid, $3.
Yeah. Wow. And Ray and Purcell got screwed.
I said running
like little kids. That's hilarious. I get why you can feel satisfied by that. I understand. That's fucking funny shit, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow, man. Almost, we're going, about an hour and 40 minutes, bro.
Oh, shoot.
We're just fucking
a lot of talk about nothing.
Yeah, well, you're like, well, what are we going to talk about? It's like, that's, I could just go,
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Well, I'm glad. It helps me get in the mindset of getting things back rolling because, you like I said, COVID took you out of everything. You know, even touring is great and all that, but it's just like I want to get back to making music, to getting, I want to play New York again. I want to.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What place do you think you might play the hypothetical show in November?
I really want to do Webster Hall, but I don't think we're going to be able to. I don't know if they still have aggressive shows there. Not from what I see.
Yeah.
But I most likely Irving Plaza.
Okay.
But you gotta understand, we were planning this before the fucking was that stupid traffic pricing thing they're putting into effect in June?
Oh, the congestion tax.
Do they not fucking? I know everybody thinks cranky old men. Yeah, they tax your income. They tax everything you do. They tax the money that you make. They tax it when you spend it. They tax it when you save it. When's it fucking end?
It never ends. It never ends.
Where's all that money from all the lotteries that it's going to go to education, it's going to go to no, where is it?
Bro,
as big as the lotteries are, you win $1 billion, half of it goes right back into the lottery people, not into the contest or whatever.
Right.
It goes into the system.
Yeah.
Take that money. Why is it? We should have fucking gold streets by now.
Fuck yeah, we should. Even something something like the Verrazano Bridge. They were saying, oh yeah, when it's done being, when it's paid for, it's going to be free. The fucking thing is $19.
Yeah.
$19 to cross it. And then what's the outer bridge? You're in Jersey. My daughter's in Jersey. The outer bridge is what? 19 or 16?
16 something or whatever. It could be more now.
Yeah, it could be more, but you have the easy pass, you get a discount, but it's like, all right, it's still $8.50. It's like it's insane.
Now I rarely go into the city anymore because of this.
I don't blame you.
I take the train and it's $20 both, $20 round trip. It's insane.
Yeah. At least you don't have to deal with traffic and bullshit.
Yeah. But then you gotta be like, oh shit, I gotta catch the last train, and you get on with the drunks and the guys.
Yeah, it's fucking out of control, man. Yeah,
I love them. You can take public transportation, and then the next thing, the next report is, some guy just shoved somebody randomly in front of a train.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I'm on the train. I'm on the train twice a day. I take the subway from Brooklyn into Manhattan every day. Rush hour both ways, and it's a shit show, man. It's crazy. It's like, yo, this is like 1992 all over again. This place is shady. You gotta watch your back. There's fucking dude. There's some fucking like there'd be like a dude like just sitting up on the corner just shooting dope. It's like, really? All right. Well, it's just out there, and no one gives a fuck. It's crazy. We can talk about that shit, but let's not get into it because that'll just spark a whole thing. But yeah. Listen, man, this was fucking awesome talking to you, man. It was
thanks.
Yeah, of course, man. Like I said, it's episode 50 was the last time I spoke to you on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
And this is like almost like I think I have like close to 350 episodes now.
Damn.
Total. I killed it for 2 years. I killed it for 2 years because I was just like, there's a lot going on personally too, and it was also I felt like I was having this almost like the same conversation with different people almost, you know what I mean? And then I started to break like a lot of horror because I go to conventions and shit, you know what I mean? The conventions, all that. So I would get like all those people on. I had some really cool people that I never thought I would ever talk to ever on. And then it was just like I think I was putting too much pressure on myself because every Friday I have to put one out every Friday. And I would run. COVID is when I started doing the Zoom. So it would always be just me and my audio thing. And I would leave work and go meet somebody somewhere. And hopefully the place wasn't too loud. I'm sitting with fucking Paulie Chiatera in a diner right next to the kitchen. And the entire episode, all you hear is pots, pans, and silverware crashing in the background. And Paul Bear ordering rye toast. It's like, sometimes it was crazy. Fucking, I'm Walter, fucking Trifles. I'm in this place, me, him, and John LaMacchia, and we decide, let's meet up at like this juice spot. in Williamsburg. We sit down, every 30 seconds there's a blender going off right next to the microphone. It's like, what the fuck?
The juice spot.
Yeah, it was some kind of I don't even know where it was, but it was like
maybe at a construction site next time. We're like,
yeah, 100%. You never know. It's crazy. But I hustled like crazy. I do all the flyers and I do that. And I was just putting it out. And I think I just like burnt myself out because of my own OCD brain. You know what I mean? You know, like the flyer that I made for you. It took me like putting it together doesn't take very long, but it's finding the pictures. Okay, he's in this kind of position.
Exactly.
It's got to fit here. It's because I'm a psycho like that.
That's good. I don't. When I make the stupid videos, I have to, I don't get paid to do that. They pay people to do that shit.
I know.
I scour the stupid internet for dumb things, and then I need just this 3-second clip of it, and I gotta edit, and then I gotta make
somebody dancing. Like you posted something
exactly.
Like yeah.
And then it didn't hit the. If I move it here, it hits the beat right, but then that messes this. Okay, I gotta re-edit the whole thing.
Yes.
You know what the band said? They don't even say anything. They don't care. I'm like, yo, look, it's got 30,000 views and it's only been up for 4 hours. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't
appreciate it.
Yeah, they don't appreciate all the hard work you do to keep the machine fucking going.
Granted, most of it I'm laying on my back, like.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here in pajama pants making flyers. It's like, but I enjoy it. That's why I keep doing it. I was like, you know what? Because the whole thing, I brought it back because, as you can probably see, I'm writing a book, which is fucking insane, and I'm almost done. Like it just sounds stupid when I hear myself even say that I'm writing a book. It doesn't even make sense. But
that's great.
So it was like this whole thing, dude. I know it's gonna get edited down like crazy, dude. I'm like probably maybe 3 or 4 days away from finished with the whole first rough draft.
See, that's the thing. I love books from bands. Like I loved Roger's book. I loved.
Great.
Especially when he gets into like them touring and he's talking about when they got to open for Motorhead and what happened that kicked them off the tour. And I was like, that shit excites me. But then I'll read I can't remember her name. No, I Won't Hold Your Coat. And I have so many friends that I sit there and I talk to them and they have a they're not in a band, but they're linked into hardcore or punk or whatever.
Yeah.
And their life is so interesting, the shit they've been through.
Yeah.
Whether they were a dancer or a veterinarian or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, you should write a book. The shit you survived,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's right. I always say I've been saying, like, people, like, a lot of people know that I'm doing this. I'm like, dude, you have a book in you. Like, you do. You might not because, like, I don't have, like, that kind of an ego. Like, who am I? I'm just I'm a knucklehead who grew up in Brooklyn, and a lot of things I created and a lot of things happened, and just like everyone else, but there might be some unique shit. There's a lot of weird, crazy shit. I had my issues with drinking and shit. I'm almost 10 years completely sober now. So like there was a lot of crazy shit. But right now I'm like 740 pages in.
Wow.
It's not even normal. In a year. So anyway, so I was talking with my editor who happened to edited The Stand and Pet Sematary.
Oh, see, that's good. You got a good editor.
And like a dozen Dean Koontz books, and that's his career since 1969. He's an older guy named Pat LaBruto. But so he's like, well, why didn't you have this podcast? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, why don't you bring it back? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, just bring it back because maybe you could just touch on it here and there, and not bring it back for the book. I was like, you know what? I kind of miss it anyway because I enjoy talking to people like you and people that I enjoy what they do or I respect, whatever. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'll bring it back. And plus, I like doing the flyers, and I just enjoy it. I don't get paid for this shit. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. So I had it for 6 years. I killed it for 2, and I brought it back maybe like 8 months ago or 6 months ago or some shit like that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But I'm not putting pressure on myself. If it comes out in a week, 2 weeks, whatever. But yours will come out in several days, less than a week.
Just let me know.
You'll know. I'll tag you in the whole thing. You trust me. You'll know. You'll know.
I'll promote it more than I promote when Craig's on.
Yeah, there you go. That will burn his ass. That will burn his ass.
When Craig hears that, he's like, I knew he did that.
Yes. Good. Yeah, give it a
I
little
promote
bigger.
everybody, all the band shit. I promote everybody's different project, like Pete's shit, Craig, whatever. Craig comes up with some weird stuff that's like nothing to do with music, and like, I want to talk about my motorcycle. All right, put him on.
Sure. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, but it's all fun, and it's just something I enjoy. So yeah,
that's good.
It'll be better. I'm keeping it going. I have several people. Roger's coming on soon. I got cousin Joe coming on soon. Good. Yeah, because I never had cousin Joe on. I never had Roger on. Me and Roger spoke several times in person about it, and then life happens.
Yeah. It's like this was it the 40th year of Victim in Pain,
which is greatest.
Greatest. I know it's controversial. No, not controversial. People, I think greatest New York hardcore record ever. It's just that's New York hardcore. Bang.
It is. I don't think it's controversial. If somebody says that Victim in Pain is their all-time favorite hardcore record, I can't argue that. Okay.
Yeah. Just to me, it took what bands like that I loved at the time, GBH and Discharge and Negative Approach, and it was totally the New York version of that.
Yeah.
It was just raw punk, but harder. It was harder than the punk we were listening to. It was like, this is it.
Yeah, man. It's fucking crazy. Are you going to be in New York? Are you going to go to the Black and Blue Bowl?
I don't know if I'm going to be home at that time.
May 18th.
No, we're playing London that day. I know that because it's I missed a lot of Black and Blue Bowls I didn't play because it's always on my daughter's birthday. And it's like, honey, do you want to go to the hardcore show or do you want to go to fucking Chuck E. Cheese? And
But she's been on
it's like Chuck E. Cheese.
Hasn't she been like around the world with you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, no, I don't want to go to the hardcore show. It's like you have a tour coming up that I'll be on.
She wants to go again this summer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gotta be. How old is she now? I remember when she was little.
Yeah, she'll be 14 in May. So.
Okay. Wow.
It's almost the same age as you.
Yeah, my daughter's 14.
Yeah.
My daughter's 14. She'll be 15 September 18th.
Yeah. So they're around there, basically the same age.
Yeah, same age. Crazy. Time is nuts. Cool, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is awesome talking. I feel like I could talk to you for another hour. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold you hostage. We'll talk.
We got to get, we'll get together. Hopefully,
we'll get together.
And if we're recording, come down.
It
should be Staten Island. Yeah, we got Mike Scandato to come down.
Of course. Yeah, we'll have the whole Team Craig, Team Armand. Yeah, I was on Team Craig. That was funny. Jerry yelled at all of us. I have it on my computer somewhere.
Yeah, I have a clip too of Jerry yelling like, "Put your fucking headphones on."
Put your fucking headphones on. I was like, I can't hear shit. I'm like, what's going on?
What's his name from
Jeff and Rage?
Jeff and Rage was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He is awesome. I love that guy.
Bosky was on Team Craig. Yeah, Drew Stone was on Team Craig.
Drew Stone, yeah.
Yeah, what a fucking lineup.
That's yeah. I don't understand Drew Stone and what's his name? I guess Jesse Malin has something to do with it. The free show, why aren't they packed out? They're freaking free.
I don't know.
Some of the bands are so awesome.
Yeah.
I have Bowery Electric shows. They're not known, they're not worldwide known or whatever, but they're great. I went to a couple when I can. I'm just like, who the fuck is this? It's like,
yeah. And they're free. What are you doing on a Sunday? You go down and fucking hang out. It's a free show. Go see 4 or 5 bands play. Like he had like fucking All Out War. It's like headlines. It's a free show. Like okay. Crazy. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe these kids are scared. I don't understand. I don't understand.
All right, man.
All right, dude. Well, listen, like I said, once again, it was awesome talking to you. Good to see you. And we'll get together. And, well, you're never in New York. But I'm in Jersey a lot because my daughter lives in Matawan. I don't know how far you are from there. And obviously, I wanted to say.
My older brother lives down in Matawan.
Okay. So you're more, are you north? Are you north? Or
it's like, it's called Central Jersey.
Where you are.
Some people say it doesn't exist. It's like north or south, but we're Central Jersey. Like,
well, yeah, my daughter's kind of central. It's Middlesex County.
I think it's like 20, 30 minutes from me.
Okay.
Where your daughter lives.
Okay. All right. Maybe if you're not doing something one day, maybe we'll go fucking have a cup of coffee or a slice of pizza. Fake.
Yeah.
Nice. Have a great one, Bo. And
right,
I will. Real quick. Support Generation Records. Follow them at Generation Records. They are located at 210 Thompson Street in the West Village. Great record store. Shout out to Mark. They're my only sponsor of the podcast, but they're great guys. And
say hello to Ron when he's there. When you're there,
Ron Grimaldi. Say hello to Ron. He's always a character. Looks like he's a lost member of the Manson family. But Ron is a great guy.
I was gonna say like lost member of Motorhead, but that's
no. He looks like he belongs on Spawn Ranch. 100%. And here, real quick before we go, since we're talking about Ron Grimaldi, I did an episode with him, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, can you make it out to Long Island?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Just give me an address, and I'll go out there." So I drive out there. I find the house, and it's completely dark. I'm like, "All right, well, whatever." I park my truck. I call him. I'm like, "Yo, where are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm on my way." It's dark out. So here comes Ron on like a 10-speed bicycle coming down the street. I'm like, "Oh, this is kind of odd, but I'm in. Like, I'm interested to see where this is going." So he's like, so we go into the house, and it's basically abandoned, right? I'm like, it's an abandoned house. One room, well, yeah, exactly. One room is completely filled with records, vinyl, stacked up, like 25 piles of records, like 4 feet high, all over this one dark room because there's no lights. Okay. No lights. There's no fucking running water, dude. He's like, all right, well, let's go upstairs. So I go upstairs, and there's a bed. There's like a master bedroom. And I'm like, all right. So he has a boombox and a cassette tape, and he puts on Iron Maiden Live After Death really low for ambiance while we do the fucking podcast. Okay?
Nice.
Right. Low, so it's kind of background music. So I wish I was doing the video at this point, but it was only audio. And I'm sitting on one side of a bed, and he's sitting on the other side, and I have it balanced on like a cardboard like box. So it balances. And we're sitting there talking, and then what winds up happening, we're in, and he even says it, so I'm not even saying anything fucked up. We're sitting in his dead grandmother's house on her old bed.
Wow.
That's hard. Grimaldi behind the scenes when he did the podcast story.
I love that guy. I love him even more now.
So do I. I love him. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, dude, on that note, have a great brother, and we'll definitely be in touch. And be safe out there, and we'll talk soon, bro.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thanks, brother.